right, everybody. Good evening. Professor Bobo here, coming at you from the Lecture Lounge. A little bit of Heroes Lounge. We are here in NA Season Number 1, Round 2, and I'm joined tonight by one Mega Man fan. Good evening, brother. What's happening?
Not much. I'm doing pretty good. About yourself?
We're just hanging out, doing a little Tuesday night cast. Show of solidarity. We're just going to take it a little easy. Wipe the cams, throw up some funny gifs. Have a good time. And we have the Dread Pirates going up against Cosmos. Two teams with victories in their round 1 matchup. Cosmos is a team that is familiar to us. One Mega Man fan, why don't you tell us a little bit about these boys?
Both teams, we don't have a lot of information because they're fairly early on. But we did see Cosmos during their last series. They ended up taking home the best of 3 with 2-1. The only game they dropped was on Braxis. Now that was banned out already, so we won't have to worry about that map for them. But actually, both teams, the maps they played in their last match against another set in Heroes Lounge weren't even compared. So neither one of these teams have played a matching map. As far as Infernal Shrines goes, it was picked versus Cosmos last time, and they did win their match.
I mean, what would an NA amateur set be without Infernal Shrines? And that's where we're headed first, as the Dread Pirates will be sending us to Infernal Shrines. We had Braxis banned out and Tomb banned out. And Cosmos opted to ban out one of the victorious maps for the Dread Pirates. We do have teams in our lobby right now. What Mega Man fan? You've been doing a little bit of casting, baby. What are you looking for this early in the season in terms of the meta?
I mean, it's Infernal Shrines. We get a lot of Kerrigan here, just out of normal respect, I think. A lot of mages on this map, but really the thing we see fought over the most is Alex Straza and Deckard Cain, being that they both have very good zone control for the points that you have to fight over to get the monsters to, get the Punisher and have John Cena push.
It's a fairly simple map, I think, and that's why Infernal Shrines is such a comfort for a lot of teams. We'll see what happens here in game number 1. You've got your 4-man rotation. You've got your lone solo lane up top, and it's the kind of map that you can play aggressively if you have an early game comp. You can play patiently, or you could always just show up on the objective and throw your bodies at the enemy team, and we hope to get a little bit of that here. Game number 1, Dread Pirates against Cosmos. And Cosmos will have the first selection. Anticipation at the top of the draft. Diablo and Genji were double banned out by Cosmos in their last set. Dread Pirates made a couple of different moves in the bans, but Diablo, Genji, Mal'Ganis, Maiev, Blaze, Garrosh, I think those are definitely at the top of everyone's first ban thoughts.
Yeah, I think that's pretty normal these days, just with the current meta, and I think that's a healthy sign for a game that we have to have so many heroes that you can consider out for a ban on pretty much every map. A Diablo ban would be good. That was something that was taken by Dread Pirates in their last series, and there is the Diablo going off the board. So this kind of works well. It counters a good hero for this map. Also pulls somebody off that your opponent knows how to play at least. On the other side, the only real hero that's been taken so far that would potentially be a good pick here for a ban by Dread Pirates is going to be that Deckard Cain. It was picked up by Cosmos in their last set, so again, they know how to play it.
Yeah, there is a Mal'Ganis ban. No Dreadlord for game number 1.
Yeah, Mal'Ganis is an interesting hero.
Yes. He and Orphea have sort of split many opinions. I mean, some people think very highly of them. Some people are kind of eh. I think the issue with Mal'Ganis is that he's such a good quick match, unranked, solo queue type hero that it's a little difficult to get a good gauge on where his power level is in the meta. I think his base kit is just insanely strong, and he's a lot of fun. So I hope he gets a little bit of nerfs and comes back in. We also do get the Jaina ban here. Jaina being, in my opinion, the top mage.
Yeah, Jaina definitely one of the better mages in the meta right now. Kael'thas ban, I like, is kind of a counter mage ban, although that does limit your mage pickup here for kind of picking up those monsters for that shrine control. Gul'dan, another popular one here.
Yes.
He usually sits in those top 3 right after Jaina. It's kind of Kael'thas or Gul'dan, your toss up. So we may see that come out here.
I anticipate actually Phoenix in this draft, and I almost say I may expect him. Oh, I wasn't going to say first. I was going to say before the secondary ban phase, Phoenix was picked up in I want to say in the 5 maps that these teams combined for. I think he had 3 picks for the teams involved. So Phoenix has shown up. And, you know, when Jane and Kael'thas sort of get cleared out, Phoenix does move up because he can struggle a little bit against their burst.
Yeah, definitely he can. The White Mane Blaze picked up here from the Dread Pirates. That's something that they actually played with in their last series. They actually took White Mane on both of their games. Blaze, they took only on one, but also one with him. So definitely we just see how they played out here. Whether this is a main tank Blaze, if they're going to go more of an off.
I mean, Blaze is so strong right now that honestly, you throw him in the Brute Squad and you see what he can do. So the Dread Pirates will pick up the Fire Bat. And the counter is Muradin and Deckard. And the Muradin is a little interesting. We have yet to see Garrosh show up, and I've seen a pretty fair amount of Johanna in the early season. So we're going to kick off our stats with a quick look at Joe, just because I feel like running it. Stats tonight are from the NA Season number 1, Heroes Lounge replay pool. Starting to build the database up. We have 130 replays currently filed away right now. And Johanna is just a hero that I target because played by both teams. I could very easily see the Dread Pirates picking up the Crusader because she pairs so very well with the Blaze. And as you can see, Johanna with an early 62% win rate on the season. She's looking good thus far. Oh! And I got sniped.
Yep, they're stream sniping here, I think.
I've got my delay. I'm kidding. No, the Johanna actually has been just to follow it up, has just been very good. I mean, you get 62% win rate on the hero. A lot of these teams are just kind of figuring out where they fit, how their meta's like, working on their synergies. And Johanna, with her wave clear and stout demeanor, certainly does a lot of work in that regard.
Yeah, well, she's also a very well-rounded tank. She has that blind. We see a lot of auto attack heroes like the Phoenix, Raynor, which was just picked up here by the Dread Pirates. Those are both heroes that really suffer against the Johanna. So pulling her off the board, a blessing and a curse there for both the teams. Obviously, they won't have to worry about a Cosmos size of blinds, but they also can't blind out that Raynor with that Johanna option. A Nubarak, interesting pick here. There's not a lot of what I call speed clear on a possible Cocoon unless we see a Li Ming come out.
RT, there's a Cosmos special, and the Hunkrat. A lot of dive heroes up and available. We've got 20 seconds before we take a look and see how Dread Pirates want to finish this draft off. Kerrigan, Zeratul, Maiev, all up and available. Mega Man Fan 8 predictions here, baby?
A Kerrigan could do very well. It has the dive potential with the Anubarak. You can have Raynor kind of poke down the front line. Another option would be go something spell damagey. Go with that new damage we talked about. Chromie is an option, not great clear, but it is an option here. And there's that Chromie.
Okay, so they're going to go with a heavy poke. The Anubarak pick is a little bit interesting now. You're going to try to put him perhaps in a longer fight, but we'll see MF Princess. The Chronormu. Interesting. Muradin Artanis. Not really a commonplace rotation, but this is a bit of a Cosmos special. And then on the flip side, we get the Chromie coming out.
Yeah, Chromie, like I said, she has great kind of bursts at a long range. There's not really any, I would say, heavy or great lockdown from the side of the Dread Pirates. Obviously, they can go for sort of a Nubarak stun combo out of a Cocoon, which would give a shot at that. But usually Chromie, you want to have something that has some more targeted stun. Something like a Tyrande stun that can kind of like, here's where it's going to be. You can tell your Chromie ahead of time because she has that such long windup on.
I mean, they have it with the Anubarak Blaze, and then once White Mane gets to 13 with Searing Lash, that's a lot of setup for Chromie. I'm not sure if this is going to be Temp Loop or Slowing Sands. We'll keep an eye on that. It's usually on Shrines it's Slowing Sands just because you can choke out an area, but the Anubarak kind of changes things. Temporal Loop with Cocoon would just make for an easier isolation play. We'll see if that may come into effect here. But as you can see, Chromie not really picked that much. A 2% pick rate early in the season. So we're not really expecting too much there from Chromie. As we head into game number 1, Dread Pirates and Cosmos headed to Infernal Shrines. And there we are.
Yeah, both teams spawning in as we speak. On the left in the blue, we are going to have the Dread Pirates Bat Mari going to be playing that Blaze MF Princess on that Chromie. Real Uni going to be playing what appears to be that white main.
The white main.
Stir Stiggles is going to be on that Anubrak, and Slithering One going to be holding it down on Jim Raynor.
Another flip side for Cosmos. Nay will be playing the Murden, the Great Hari on Arctanus, Broiled Beef on the Junkrat. Odd Thought on the Deckard Cain, and Zemmel will be playing the Phoenix. Quick, let's play Family Feud. Give me your top 5 answers for most popular Cosmos.
Most popular Cosmos?
I'm testing your pop culture references. Come on. Come on, before
You're not going to get any pop out of me.
Oh
sorry.
my god, Kramer, Carl Sagan. I gotta keep you on your toes. I mean, that's a little thing I've been fiddling with. Can we get a Family Feud game in maybe for the interview stage? Teams running it down mid. We've got Arctanus and Blaze heading off to the top lane. Chat, let me know what your favorite Cosmos are as we get underway here in game number 1.
Yeah, I see the Murden taking the 3rd win off the start here. Trying to get some of that extra healing. Arctanus with that amateur opponent, pretty much a normal thing you have on any kind of objective map where you pick him up. And then Ace in the Hole from Raynor. Again, not a surprise at all.
Nope. I say boo just because I like the Manadin. I like the 20 rewind combo, but no. It makes a ton of sense. Because you have situations like that where Murden, finds a time trap a bit inadvertently and then eats a little bit of Chromie damage. You want to back off and have your trade up as much as possible. And 3rd wind, getting the refresh and higher threshold, if you will, certainly helps to accomplish that. Early rotation advantage over to the Dreaded Pirates as Odd Thought and Broiled Beef team up to grab the first Cosra camp.
Yeah, grabbing the Cosra camp early is actually good for them. That'll give them a chance to kind of go down, grab the bottom camp. We see Deckard already rotating down there along with his team, so they should be able to grab that. It looks like they're going to try to zone off for a second here. There's obviously got to be a little suspicion here, potentially.
I think Odd Thought can sit here. Dread Pirates just don't seem terribly interested in the camps. They just want to boss rotations, and as we show our level 1 talents at the bottom of the screen, you do have a Nubarek running Regen Master. He's already got 10 globes. That was real fast.
It is very fast, but obviously they can double soak both those lanes. But as long as your team is working together and making sure that those globe quests are able to be completed early, it's not too bad of a stacking time in any one of these rotation style maps. Up top, we see kind of a push in here on Bat Mari. He's pushed up to his gate, but obviously we'll have those towers firing away.
Good bit of disengage there from Broiled Beef, knocking the bug away from Deckard Cain. Shout out to Zul Rules. Yes, the Heroes Lounge database is public. I mean, I have it, and I might be Bobo, but I'm not that special. And I'm certainly not going to hog that. Ping Philindrith, and he will. If you don't know where the sort of the GitHub links are for the Stats of the Storms database, he will help provide them for you. Also, I should probably link it in chat. Somebody help him out. All right, mid is our first shrine. Finally, Dread Pirates making a rotation to the camp. They repel the first 2 and out. We see a possible invade here. Nay shows up. MF Princess eating a little bit of damage there from Murden. There's the root avoided. Raynor and Whitemane are sitting on the camp. They should have an easy time collecting this as Stir Stiggles with a ton of pressure. Nay at 250 hit points. Blaze has shown up just a little late. And Murden really can't finish the camp clear, but a good bit of delay there. A little bit of a nice early test. Stir Stiggles on the Anubarek, proving to be a bit of a nuisance on the back line.
Yeah, thankfully Murden able to get out fairly easy as long as he does save that Dwarf toss. We do see Great Hari picking up that Shaman camp in the top, so that will start pressuring that lane. They definitely want to try to stall this out, but an early lead here on the monsters for the shrine. Unfortunately, it is a Mortar Punisher, so going to be the weakest of the 3 here.
Nay eating yet another shot from the Chromester. There's a time trap definitely there for the Murden should he look to jump. This is at 20. It's go time for sure. There's the root. No CC, no initiate. And Arctanus just barely misses the swap, and now Sir Stiggles go. We get the Burrow. We've got Impale. We've got Jet Propulsion as well. Zemmel low having to back out. Nay on the backside is zoned well away. Murden has yet to really make an impact here on the point. There's another Royal Root with 35 skeletal defenders and 1 low Phoenix. Oh, almost ate it. Looks like first objective is headed over to the Dread Pirates.
Yes, it's headed over to them. Shaman Camp got a little bit of value in the top, got both those towers down to about half HP or so. Obviously, with the removal of ammo, you don't get quite as much value off of a push like that where you don't end up taking down the towers. Bait over the wall is good here from the side of Cosmos, sorry, I don't know why I'm screwing up. And they're gonna go ahead and burn this down. Artanis, though, interestingly enough, not one of the ones burning this down. He does have that amateur opponent. Feels like kind of a waste here.
It's very odd also to see Raynor go make the move up to the top, but they wanted to clear. You see Blaze headed to the bot lane, got a little bit of chip damage on some of the structures. But both teams just kind of playing everything safe. No kills, and the first objective giving the Dread Pirates about a quarter of a level lead. They now are going through the 5-man invading the bot lane. Level 7 talents are here for both teams. Good bit of progress. A few of our questing talents. Notably Regen Master.
Getting 23 globes is not bad at all for Stiggles here. He's only 7 away, and with a return to that rotation, they should be able to pick that up. But taking these camps away, going to give themselves some extra pressure, grab some extra XP. Not much Nay can do here. He can kind of poke, get some stacks on that Stormbolt. That's about it.
What Cosmos need to find here is they need to find a way to get out of the backline from the flanks. And I think that's where they're struggling a little bit right now. But they do have, like, Junkrat, you know, who's a later game hero. Kane tends to do a little bit better on the points where he can set up over the long term. Just got to keep an eye on, you know, the Murden and Artanis interplay because their engage is a little speculative, if you will. Stormbolt's not the, you know, point and click CC, obviously. And then on top of that, Artanis with the swaps needs to make a real big play. So, I mean, they've got the opportunity to cause a bit of a headache should they catch one of the squishy members of Dread Pirates. Has not come to fruition just yet. Half level lead.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to be more of a let's turn around this fight style. You know, let Dread Pirates engage, back out of it, turn around, get a quick, maybe stay a while and listen from the Deckard, lock some people down. That gives you a chance to get the damage in on 1 or 2 of them, and then kind of go from there. They don't really have a ton of burst per se potential, which makes kills a little difficult. Nay going in, not going to connect on that Stormbolt.
When they do get the 10, they're likely going to have to rely on clearing the Cocoon and then Riptire getting maximum value. So the pressure will be on, really not just to isolate a single target, but to try to, you know, make sure that the real Huni on the white main maybe doesn't ruin those plans. There's a big Dragon's Eye from Chromie hitting a few members. Nate just getting poked out hard between white main and Raynor. It's a lot of pressure on the Murden, particularly if he eats some of those skill shots from Chromie. Level 10 nearly here for the Dread Pirates.
Yeah, and Chromie did take that temporal loop for her, well, a little early, but for her level 10. So that'll give them some lockdown. We do see the Cocoon come out here. Raynor's going to go with Hyperion to look for a little extra pushing pressure. Scarlet Aegis, pretty standard here for the white main, not a surprise. Blaze, going to go with that bunker. Locking in a little late here, but definitely will help heal for his team, especially from that Salvo's potential from Phoenix.
I really, you know what? Just for the hell of it, I would have actually liked to see Combustion here. I mean, they've got this sort of single target isolate. Yes, Salvo can be a little scary, but you do have a white main. You know, you can't really get engaged on too much. And Combustion is just more fun. All right. Objective number 2 up in the top lane. Blaze is going to get things started. This is going to be a Frozen Punisher for objective round number 2. Sir Stiggles flashing a bit of a spray. There's a time trap up front. Murden will go ahead and clear it out. All of the R buttons are available. Mega Man, what are you looking for here?
Honestly, with Deckard not taking stay while they have the Tornado, they're going to have to try to split somebody here with that or get a swap. Artanis goes in, going to actually hit the time trap, not going to get a swap. There's going to be the stun immediately from the Blaze. Hyperion coming out. There goes the bunker in the back line. Cocoon popped fairly early. I thought maybe in trouble. Going to go ahead and throw Lornado, Zimli, Salvo, Junkrat with a big Riptire on the 3 members, but there's not going to be any follow-up in the back line. However, Nubrak too far forward is going to fall. Swap going to connect on the Princess here. Gonna be dragged into the back line, trying to get out, but not able to escape. And then
White
we see
main
the follow-up on the white main. Nay with a great Stormbolt there off that Dwarf Toss. Going to get that picked up. And that should, for the most part, secure the shrine for them.
I heard fairly recently that the key for Cosmos was going to be the counter engage, and they just resist all that pressure. There's Lornado. It's going to find Blaze as well. Bat Mary in a load of trouble. The power of books compels you. Blaze goes down. Mega Man fan, you were talking about the counter engage, and Nubarak was way deep following the Cocoon Hyperion play. Deckard Cain found a way to get on out of there. And exactly what you talked about. There was the counter. Nubarak gets body blocked out by all 5 members. It just sort of boxed the bug in. There's another swap. You see Haris starting to get in a little bit of a rhythm here. And Great Harry found Chromie also to turn that fight around. And a game which had no kills up until the second objective, now 5-0, Cosmos, starting to get a little bit of run it down up in the top lane.
Yeah, they're going to get the XP lead here now, up about a full level. Going to be locking in those 13s right as we speak. Blaze down on the bottom. We're going to start that double soak. Sidewall down, look for the swap. Not going to connect. Already misses on that, so that'll be a cooldown here for a couple seconds. But honestly, if they get the wall here, that'll be great for them. They don't have to go in too much further, but the Punisher is fairly healthy. There's even Hyperion coming back out again. Nay taking a little poke from the Chromie. We're going to see the disengage here from the team.
They did get that ice block baited out, though. Hari goes in, just missing one more swap. The Keep is taking damage, and Raynor, oh, if he goes down, that's it. And they need help from the White Mane. There's the Lornado. It catches White Mane as Raynor goes down. Pressure's on. Phoenix in a big bit of trouble. Zemmel, though, dodges the burrow from an Uberak. And Cosmos looking to dodge the counter kill as a team. And there's the zone out with a late laser on the Chromie. However, Raynor goes down. The Keep stands, but Cosmos continue to press their advantage.
Yeah, they go to that 13 advantage, looking for the camp here. Going to go ahead and pick that up. They do have all 5 members, so they have that advantage for a short period here. This will give them some XP, remove this option off the map from the Dread Pirates, and it looks like a potential push in on the middle here.
Let me take a look. They're just chipping away at this wall in mid, and this has been a counter push. There was a camp that pushed all the way back to the wall in mid. But a win condition has opened up in the top lane. All 5 members of Cosmos currently invading the mid Khazra camp. Hit me, Bo, in chat. What do you think? Blaze better as an offlane or main tank? Blaze main tank takes a little bit of care. He's a little weak in the early game until you start to get the slows. It's just rotations. So on a map like Infernal Shrines, I actually think Blaze is going to be better as a main tank. But you've got to pair him up with a little bit of extra engage. He is S tier right now. Blaze and Maiev should really be at the top of everyone's draft. All right.
I would definitely have to agree. Push in on the bottom here from the team. They grab that Khazra camp away, looking for the pressure here.
Beetle eats a Stormbolt. That might have been the cue for Nay. They slide up. Raynor's showing up. Hari goes behind the wall, gets the flip on White Mane, who actually is on the wrong side of things here. Artanis is a long way to go out. There's the Lornado getting the disengage. Great Hari is going to get traded out. They're trying to get onto Real Uni. She's got that laser beam, the Spear of Adun on her. White Mane will eat the Purification Salvo. Riptire comes through. And now Nay looking to move out with the Avatar. It is a 1-for-1 White Mane for Artanis. And finally, Dread Pirates get on the board, but it does cost them their support.
Yeah, but it was a 1-for-1, but that was a 4v5. Blaze, meanwhile, soaking and pushing in the top lane. So that was actually great play by Dread Pirates here to hold that off. You know, obviously the trade, not something you really want to have is a death for any of your members, but if you can trade it out, that helps a little bit here. Blaze now back with the team, making the full 4v4. Decker going to sneak away with that hearth.
Regen Master complete also. We'll flash it real quick. Sandblast have been completed. As you can see, there is a Chromie Echo out on the field. Everything for talents looking fairly standard. It's this interesting pick here. There's auxiliary shields at 13 for Phoenix. That's a neat little talent. At 13, Deckard King comes alive. Ancient Blessings is here. Nay with a good dodge. Also at 13, Murden's build starts to pick up a ton of steam with healing static. That'll provide Nay with a lot more survivability on these long objective fights. Zemmel leading the charge. Phoenix needs to be careful here. There's the jet propulsion. Blaze has gone in and immediately has the bunker. This is going to get chewed out, and the root catches him. Great Hari up at the front. There's the Lornado to disengage. They're trying to track down this Blaze. Spear is here. Jet propulsion to get away. A lot of good cooldowns being traded out. Sir Stiggles has dropped the cocoon onto Odd Thought. Deckard Cain is all right. There's the Riptire looking for the bug. And repelled. A lot of R buttons. No carnage.
A lot of R's. We are going to see Temporal still up along with the Avatar in the Hyperion. So that's going to be a little bit of zone control here for the side of the Dread Pirates if they want to try to push off Cosmos here.
There is a Shaman camp in the top lane. Yeah, that's a free keep. Let's take a peek at this bad boy. He's got a nice juicy wave as well. I'm taking a peek there. Bat Mary is headed and on the way, and they actually have to give this objective up. This Blaze, who is trying to rescue this keep, and oh, this is going to be really tight.
Honestly, I don't think they save it at this point. I would have went more
Needs a
for the
Doge.
strike. So we see
Might get it.
the monster stopped at 39 by Cosmos. They're gonna
Good,
steal
39.
away the camp here, and then you know how to pick up this last one most likely.
They do
So
have
they're looking for 8.
White Mane eats the root. What a great Stormbolt. There's the disengage. Aegis, Lornado, and Cocoon are out. Great Hari looking for a potential target here. MF Princess trying to sort of bulwark herself with that time trap in an auspicious area. Boy, having beef on that Junkrat, he could just go take that keep at any given time. Hari will finish this off. This is our first Arcane Punisher, and it comes at a great time for Cosmos. Mega Man looks like they might be able to make the keep play here.
Yeah, definitely. I should see a keep come out of this play. Either way, either they keep them here long enough that their wave slowly pushes in onto top lane. There's that potential, or they go for it with the Arcane Punisher. Obviously, Arcane Punisher considered one of the strongest on the map. They're going to have a nice swap there. There's going to dive out. There's a nice Lornado on to the White Mane. She's able to sneak out of that. Just barely survives.
Hardened Carapace from Anubarak kept him alive. There is the Hyperion looking to try to zone out. A lot of low health bars on the side of Cosmos. Raynor, though, goes down. Oh, boy. Messer Cena from the top turnbuckle, baby. This is going to cost him a keep, and now, potentially, thinking about game maybe? 30 seconds, no Raynor?
They're going to have at least one more kill, I think.
Wait for the
but
jump.
They're going to go for it here.
Cena goes in. The target is Anubarak. Hari goes in. Does not quite get the swap. There's the Cocoon onto Phoenix. The Punisher is going to go down, but so does the Shield. Odd Thought trying to keep everybody alive. This is a massive 5 stack trying to keep Phoenix on this. There's a Lornado. It's a disengage pulling everybody away. Spear of Adun on a White Mane, and this keep is gone. This core is over. Game number 1 goes over to Cosmos. Very well played. It took them a little while to get. It took them a little while to get going in that first game. Great Hari needed a couple minutes to get warmed up on the Artanis. You know what didn't look great in the early game picked up steam, and commendable effort from the members of Cosmos. 8-1 kill advantage. They very comfortably take game number 1.
Yeah, they sneaked through game 1 here. At the beginning, you know, it was a little interesting. We definitely had favor for the Dread Pirates in the early game. But Cosmos coming in at the end there, like I said, with the ability to kind of counter engage with their team. They have some good potential once they get that poke damage in from the Junkrat, from the Phoenix. And the swaps out of Artanis are pretty good overall. Chromia, though, did a lot of work. 62,000 hero damage is a lot for Chromie, especially in a 16-minute, almost 17-minute game. Definitely a decent amount there.
But a really good job denying the rest of the poke damage. I think most of that Raynor damage was focused on Muradin. You can see he ate a fair bit in game number 1. But that's where Third Wind comes into effect. And a really good job from Nay. It had a lot of points where Muradin was quite low. Once you get to 13 and you have healing static, you're a totally different animal. And fantastic game from Cosmos. Love to see it. Flash our map selection screen. Folks, if you're unfamiliar with this bad boy, we keep this updated just to guide everyone through this best of 3 set. Map number 1, Infernal Shrines, was selected by the Dread Pirates, won by Cosmos, and thus following the rules of the lounge. Game number 2, first pick or map pick selection will go over to the Dread Pirates. So we've had Tomb, Braxis, Infernal Band out. I kind of expect to see Towers played here at some point. Towers, Battlefield are the the popular maps that are still up and running. Volskaya could certainly be a part.
Yeah, definitely a few different options here. I mean, I'm a fan of the bigger maps, so I really love things like Cursed Hollow, where it's really rotation-oriented, macro-oriented, because that's my wheelhouse. I'm a dirty Abathur player. But it looks like we're going to go to Dragonshire here. Can be the choice.
Dragonshire is it's a neat map and a neat change from Infernal Shrines because it adds a lot of that early game pressure that we didn't necessarily see in game number 1. a lot more things to do, particularly with the with the objectives and the different camp plays that you can make. Similar in structure, but it's certainly different in objective and design. Look at our teams over on into our lobby. I love Dragonshire. I got really sad last season at NGS. Got banned out way too much. I was not about that. And but now in Heroes Lounge NA season number 1, seen a good little bit of uptick on Dragonshire.
Yeah, a little bit of uptick. I do enjoy a good Dahaka on this map. Obviously, you need somebody who can kind of hold those points, but having that global off tank available to your team is great.
And I mean, the other thing about Dragonshire, it tends not to be sort of like cheesy, but there's a couple of really hot picks that you can make. I love seeing the odd Samuro here. I love Abathur comps, particularly the supportless ones on Dragonshire. I think you can get a lot of stuff done. I'm trying to think. We in the first game saw a couple things that I anticipated. We did get the Phoenix, who was a part of that draft. Johanna, who I thought would have been a part of the draft, didn't make it through. I think that was a very smart ban during the secondary ban phase for Cosmos. Didn't get any Garish play in the first game. The Rainer Chromie I thought was kind of neat. I thought it was a really good idea with the isolation comp. It just seemed like there weren't too many opportunities to rip that combo, particularly with the way that second objective fight played out. The way that Cosmos really turned that one around.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I really feel like they needed some more, I want to say solid CC. Again, not that Numerek doesn't have the CC. It just takes a lot of work to get it. It's not just a point and click. You can't kind of pre-target. It's very directed where that's going to go. Obviously, he's either burrowing at you, or you have the vines coming at you. So you kind of know it's coming in advance. So it makes it a little easier to avoid for the most part, or to get cleansed out if that's an option for your support. Would love to have seen, like I said, a Tehran or even like an ETC would have been nice there, just to have something that kind of can go in, lock somebody down for a second, potential mosh pit. We'll see if it comes out in this next match here. Definitely should see some globals from these teams, being that you do have to control multiple points at once.
Hey, Dread Pirates were very successful. They actually have the better map record they did going into this set. So, I mean, listen, sometimes you suffer a little bit of a setback. Sometimes you get hit in the face a little bit, and you just got to make a call to Miracle Max, and you come back stronger for game number 2. Again, once again, headed over to Dragonshire for this one. Let's see if we can get Miss Uni and company on into this video game. Listen, I thought both drafts were just nice and tight. There was really nothing in there that puzzled us, really, other than the Chromie. And again, that's not that big of a risk. You could understand what they were trying to do in that set. I like the white main from Uni. I thought it did a really good job in a couple of nice key spots. When things just kind of fall apart, it was just like, all right, for the Dread Pirates, they got the engage they wanted, they didn't get the kill, and then it just kind of became a mad scramble. That really was kind of the issue in game number 1. Both teams are our folks. We're going to head on over to game number 2, which will be played, of course, on Dragonshire. Let me just double check everything good. Coin toss? No, we don't want that. That's not how we do things here.
Gotta have it set right. Loading into the draft here, and if I read that correctly, I believe Cosmos will have first pick and ban again.
Yes, the selection of the Dread Pirates. Don't know if everybody saw the cool Dragonshire bug where you can channel from behind the statue. That's gone.
Thank goodness.
It was really funny the first time I saw it. I got a kick out of it. It was a neat one. So let's see. The bans in game number 1 on the side of Cosmos, they went with Diablo and Jaina. And then on the left side, what do we have? Mal'Ganis Genji for Dread Pirates?
I believe so. I know it was Mal'Ganis. I do not remember the second one. There's Diablo, though, coming off right away again from Cosmos here. They do not want to have to deal with that. I wouldn't say it's a great Diablo map. Mal'Ganis banned out from Dread Pirates. We're mirroring so far what we saw in the last game. First 2 bans here.
This happens in the early parts of these AM League seasons. Like, teams are trying to sort of figure everything out. I mean, obviously, you just lack data on your opponents. So really, like the early bans, have to do a little bit more with what you may find to be objectively strong in the meta. Or listen, you'll still get respect bans. I really like the Jaina Kael'thas, and then let's snap pick Phoenix there and get him a 1. We'll see how that kind of fares out. There's the Jaina ban again, though.
Yeah, do we see the Kael'thas ban again from Dread Pirates is the thing. I would hope not. I don't feel like he's super strong on this map. They're going to get rid of Mathael. I think that's a little bit better choice given the map. Especially with the availability of On a Pale Horse. You can rotate from that top to that middle section fairly quickly. So removing that option is going to be good for them, I think. It also shows they may be looking at some sort of heavy front line here for their team.
Could be an early Garrosh. I'm trying to think what else. Sometimes.
Cho'Gall. It's Cho'Gall.
Please no. There's the first pick Phoenix going with it again. Buddy, Smitty in chat wondering about first picks. I like first pick just because I like having the 3 selections before the secondary ban phase. I feel like there's just a lot of good heroes, but I feel like the breaking point might be right around like 6 to 7. So if it's 6, you only really feel like there are 6 to 7 sort of S tier heroes in the game. I think it actually makes sense to go first pick. But what you do see on the amateur side of things is that, particularly as you move sort of down the divisions, sometimes you can get separations on the larger maps or the macro maps. And one Mega Man fan, you talked about this. Like some teams just favor the bigger maps and the more complicated macro plays, and some teams just kind of want to run it down. I don't know. Where do you fall in the first pick map pick point of view?
I am one of those people that really likes second pick, and the main reason I like that is the ability to, if you draft properly, to have that option to counter anything you want on the opponent's draft, because you do have that very last hero choice. Obviously, you give up a little bit on the early half with the bans. The addition of the third man definitely makes it a little more difficult, as we see Genji pulled off the board by the Dread Pirate. But I don't feel like it's enough of a weakness to give up that advantage of that.
You also, like, you get, and this is, like, one of those examples, too. If you've been picking up on someone like the Heroes hype and the amateur div stuff, like, you generally get the first, like, the top bans, again, Maiev, Blaze, Diablo. Get those sort of heroes out there, and then there's a little bit more support play. But when you open the drafts up with stuff like, Jaina and Malthael being banned out, it kind of changes your priorities. It makes you think. I see Zul Rules wondering, where is Tyrande? I don't know. Apparently people forgot that she existed. That's what we're going for. The Zuther!
Main tank Zul? Is this the main tank Zul?
Oh, 100%. And I saw this actually. This was a draft that the Dread Pirates previously ran with the Zul, and they won. They topped it off with a Vala. So this is one of the situations, because you have such a very strong front line, and you've got the double support combination. You could pick that squishy, just uber peel. Uber PvE, uber PvP sort of hero, and Vala does fit that bill. We'll see if she does wind up getting picked up. Love seeing the Uther though. Let's pull some Uther stats. Let's see how the big man's doing early in the season. 44%.
Yeah, what if the require? Yeah, it's not great for Uther. But one of the requirements kind of to run a Vala is to have a second support to kind of help keep her alive, and there's that Vala. That's a pretty generalized thing in the higher tier levels. It's like, you want to take Vala, okay, but you have to have that second support to help keep her alive, or something like a Tassadar that has some shielding to keep an eye on her, just because she is so squishy compared to taking something like a Raynor, who has that built-in self-sustain, or a Phoenix, who has that shielding that can, regenerate. But it'll be interesting here to see how they rotate. I'm assuming they're going to try to do a mid-bot rotation, but if Murdy can interrupt that enough, Nay going to be on that Murdy again, had some great Storm Bolts last game, so if you can interrupt that rotation, that'll be big with allowing the pressure on the map to kind of favor Cosmos in that bottom half. The downfall is Zul's trait, being able to create the skeletons off of your opponent's minion design, makes it a little harder to clean up. And besides the Phoenix, there is not a ton of wave clear here from Cosmos.
No. They're going to be fairly resistant, to some of these shenanigans with the Zul. But, I mean, we'll get to that But let's get to our teams first. Over on the side of Cosmos, Broiled Beef is going to be playing the Li Ming. Nay, yet again, on the Muradin. Zemel will be playing Phoenix. Sir Odd of Thought will be playing the Deckard Cain, and the Great Hari getting game number 2 on that Artanis.
And on the left-hand side, we are going to have the real Uni playing White Man again. Urel going to be played by Bat Mari. Uther played by MF Princess. Vala going to be rocked by Slithering One. And Sir Stiggles going to be playing that main tank Zool.
And with the early game strength of the sort of tankless Zool comp, fully expect Dread Pirates to get a massive lead in the 4-man. Especially with what we talked about, the lack of wave clear, Li Ming into double support. Li Ming is objectively poor into Uther, just because Uther tends to prevent that first reset from coming through. But especially in a situation like this, going to be difficult. So maybe the solution for Cosmos is to think about putting a little bit more pressure on the top lane. Artanis is a really good early game, like 1-4 bruiser. And if you can maybe put a little bit more pressure on the Urel, particularly through the employ of a mercenary bruiser camp up in the top lane, I don't know, maybe that's the solution for Cosmos.
Yeah, now we see Vala actually moving into that Hungering Arrow build at level 1. So that may be a sign that they're going to try to have her rotate off, take camp solo a little bit later on once she has some talents added on to that. Siege camp will get picked up fairly quickly for her. Sir Stiggles getting pushed off here by Zimli in that middle lane. Gonna have to actually tap fairly early here. Gonna be a little difficult having that on cooldown potentially. And we see Li Ming working on the Siege Giants already.
It was a little bit of a misrotate, if you will, for Dread Pirates. They sent Zool on up top and just kind of smelled it out. Good patience there from Cosmos. Murda jumps over the wall. He'll be alright. No smell out for the camp invade. And Odd Thought and Broiled Beef will finish off first Giants of the game. Taking a peek up in the top lane. Hari losing early to Urel. Urel doing Urel things. Can be tough sometimes for the Artie. And there is already the possibility of a channeled objective in mid. No one in the area. And there we go. We'll get the break of the bottom channel as the Moon Shrine will head back over to Cosmos.
Yeah, honestly, for Dread Pirates, I think they need to try to just hold off and wait on capping this. I mean, obviously, if they get a free cap, why not take it? But they have the great rotation and wave clear potential in the early game. I think they really should abuse that as much as possible before it gets to late game where Cosmos kind of takes off with their damage and their ability to kill people.
You can see unloading on Murden. We even had the backlash pick up. Nay trying to body block MF Princess, and here comes the root. Zemel is tracking down Uther. This should be kill number 1, and it is. And against the expectant tide, Cosmos comes up with first blood. Ooh.
Yeah, first blood coming out here for Cosmos. Uther finally popping away. We'll be back fairly quickly though, because of the how early it is in the game. We're only about 3 minutes in. Both teams have their level 4s locked in, working towards at level 7. XP slight advantage for Cosmos here, but nothing too major overall. Up top, Urel winning out that lane really hard against this Artanis. Pretty normal. This definitely kind of explains that Mathael Bandit is one of the better counters to Urel in that solo lane. Bottom lane looks like another potential engage. MF Princess trying to tank here. So Stiggles looking for the root on the Deckard. Connects, but not going to have anything following up.
A nice threading of the needle by Broiled Beef. One big shot onto Whitemane was quite scary. MF Princess in a tough choke point. That's another root on Uther. Nay just trying to hold the point right now, however. 4 members in bot lane. Zool getting back up to mid. He's been shoving waves into that mid wall. In fact, it should result in a tower. I think the minions and the skeletons will wind up picking that bad boy up. Odd Thought on the flank. There's a root from the side. Keep an eye on Nay here on the Murden. MF Princess a little bit low. Zool trying to keep the rotates up. Murden steps up, but nothing quite doing. Cosmo's just been held down here in the bot lane. Tough for them to make a move. It looks like they're trying to find a mistake. Maybe Nay finds one here. There's a Stormbolt onto Whitemane who slides up. Real Uni is okay. Phoenix will take care of mid.
Yeah, see, the problem is Stiggles is putting a lot of pressure on that middle lane. And it's going to force somebody from Cosmos to kind of have to babysit that lane. And with the double support, it's going to be tough to kill Uther. I mean, Uther's already hard to kill as it is. But then you added another support, making sure he stays alive. Going to be a tough time.
Nay could be in trouble with the backlash here. Just makes it over the wall with about 200 hit points. Excuse me. Phoenix sitting in mid. It looks like it's going to be another game in which Cosmos is going to have to rely on counter engage. They're going to have to, resist the Bone Prison backlash, Cursed Strikes build Zool combo. Taking a peek at the top lane. Great Reach getting a little bit more momentum against Hero. Still struggling to capture that top Sun Shrine. Zemel with a good bit of damage there, chasing down the Zool, who has to back off. And credit to Cosmos, every time they've been able to or have seen the 4-man for Dread Pirates broken up, they've taken advantage of it, and with pretty good effect.
Yeah, poke here on to MF Princess with that Uther. Gonna be popped down to about half health. Now this is where they're gonna have to play cautiously as Dread Pirates. Yeah, the mana bar is getting low. We did see the tap from Slithering one here, but obviously with the mana bars getting lower, that makes it a little harder to get away with things. They're gonna get rooted here. Nice timing on that Dwarf Toss to stay away from the enemy team when those roots come out.
Shout out to Nay, who's held that Dwarf Toss very late, and it really can't be interrupted with the positioning that he's had. Now, Uther, certainly will change it if he can get in there, and then you expect to see Rain of Vengeance there for Vala, who's under a bit of pressure. But thus far, Nay's been nice and safe. Good bit of damage coming out on Vala. Nice trade there from Broiled Beef. Phoenix holding fort in mid. Ooh.
There's a nice stun from Nay on the Slither run. Little follow-up from Broiled Beef. Not going to be enough, unfortunately, to get that pop, to get that reset it.
Oh, Uther out of mana.
There's the Vala quest finishing.
Ooh. Beef with another nice shot. There's the root on Uther, who is low. Remember, he's out of mana. Sir Stiggles has showed up. Nay's going for the kill. There's skeletal defenders on the backside. Odd Thought needs his level 10 to come through. Uther is dead, but Cursed Strikes finds 1 and 2 kills. Ghost Uther healing everybody back up.
Yeah, Slither one had kind of a heyday there on the sideline. Was being ignored. Leeming a little far forward, was able to just kind of do her own thing and auto Leeming all the way down to get the pick there. And now we're going to see Sir Stiggles grabbing the DK here in the middle. Be interested to see which way they push with it here. Looks like they're going to initially head towards the bottom lane. I don't know how I feel about this call, because I think the extra pressure in the middle would be nice for them, kind of open up the map and help slow down those rotations from Cosmos towards the late game.
Really want that mid well, and they may regret not picking that up if they don't find the opportunity. Very good rotate. You talked about the flank there that came through by the Zool. Oh, Nay's in big trouble. There's one Rain of Vengeance. Oh, and he just gets away. You can tell MF Princess was going there for the move-in on the Uther, but nothing quite doing. Zemel will eat the kick, and the Dragon Knight, who is very, very low, looks like he will only claim the structures in the bot lane. But it is a nearly 1 level lead for the Dread Pirates.
Yeah, interesting talent choice out of the Artanis team. Did go with that Purifier Beam again. I was really hoping to see the blind, especially versus that Vala.
And then
obviously she is... Yeah, she's going to that... I mean, she went into Hungry Hero build, so obviously she's not going to be getting the extra stacks on the autos with that Hatred, but still, the blinds, I feel like would give them some great value over these team fights. Possible invade here onto this bottom camp. Zool walk right in. There's going to be stay on listen on the 4 members here. Phoenix gets the salvo off. Slithering one, though, charging forward, gets the kill on 1. Odd Thought trying to walk away. I don't think he'll escape here.
Deckard
That's
Kane.
going to be 2 kills and camp stolen away.
Wow.
This is not looking good for Cosmos.
The double support, just doing work there. It seemed like it was a really good setup, actually, for Cosmos. They've got the damage coming out from Leeming. They get a couple of good early shots, but everything just gets turned around so quickly by the White Mane Uther combo. Particularly when, Deckard winds up being under pressure as he is in that spot. I mean, I don't think this is a keep. They'll need a kill. There's the backlash from Zool. Now that he steps up, he's a little lacking. Broiled Beef has taken a ton of damage, and A could be in a bit of trouble there. I don't know. It looks like they might get this keep.
Well, they know those Siege Giants pushing behind it, which is what is probably going to be confirming this. There's a nice Rain of Vengeance going to connect on NA. Dwarf Toss away. Will get rooted from Deckard, but able to get out safe and sound. We will see Dread Pirates walk away after claiming that keep. A big thing there is the spell shield shield that's given from that mage. You see Great Hari coming in, looking for an engage. There's going to be the swap one out. Root going down. Daywall, let's connect on the 4 members, but Murden falls here initially. Odd Thought gonna be falling next here. Counter kill on Azul. And they're just going back and forth here pretty heavy.
A good counter kill. Stay a while and listen. Just barely helped to secure that Zul kill. If Uther wakes up, he certainly got the Necromancer's back. But nice little pickup. 6-3 in terms of kills. This, however, does look like it's going to be another objective. Uriel sitting up in the top lane. She's got Phoenix trying to chase her down. MF Princess channeling on the Uther. And the Lumberjack picks up the Dragon.
Yeah, an interesting build out Li Ming. I just know she's going full magic missiles and then grabbing that glass cannon at 13. So looking to try to burn things down as fast as possible, get as much damage out. And you can see that coming into play here with the Dragon Knight, just getting chunked by those magic missiles.
This is a really tough spot. Artanis barely makes it away. Zul has yet to join the team. He is out and on the way. 2 Katazin bot. This is a little bit early for the Dragon Knight. I still have to wind up healing, but we might have a little bit of action. Mid, Artanis goes down. Real Uni trying to stay alive. Uther is still here with the D shield, but he's in the Dragon, and Whitemane goes down. Stay a while and listen came out in there as well. 1 for 1. Silver linings for Cosmos. They're not going to lose another keep, and they're also starting to catch up a little bit. You can see the death timers and how, sort of unbalanced they are right now, as Artanis will be back much, much earlier than the Whitemane.
Yeah, and we did see Whitemane actually was swapped into the enemy team by the Artanis, but died after. A great turnaround there by Dread Pirates to get the pick on the Artanis. Try to save their support. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. As you said, Uther was in that DK. Flop not going to connect here. So 4v5. Yeah, I think they need to try to just back out of this one at this point. Batmari hopping away on that Wonder William mount, and we'll see siege camps taken by both teams.
Oh, Uther got swapped. Stormbolt. There's the spear. Uther does have Divine Shield, and he does proc it there. He will dodge the root and head back towards his team. Hari still looking for the chase down. This was a good shot. Divine Shield obviously is always going to stop those kind of shenanigans, but we do get some R buttons getting traded out. And I do have to say that the advantage for timers is on the side of Cosmos.
Yeah, definitely an advantage there. D-Shield just such a long cooldown. It is a full 90 seconds, minute and a half. Root? I think they're too far away for the follow-up on that, unfortunately.
Might be able to... I'm trying to think of what they're going to make a move here. I mean, they've got mid-keep exposed. There it is. There's the move towards the top camp. You know, once you get Zul, like, getting late into game, games like this, like, look, it's just gone. You've got Zul and you've got Vala, and they both just press a couple of buttons and camps just melt. This is Cursed Strikes Zul with the armor reduction on Bone Prison at 16.
Yeah, and I think this is an interesting push there. I think the well here initially, they're trying to get the fourth down. It's going to open the lane up for them, give them a little bit of an advantage in this top lane. Definitely will help out in that 1v1 for Batmari, assuming we see more of a normal split towards these shrines popping. Activating in about 15 seconds. Diving by Nate. There's going to be a nice swap off Stormbolt Princess. On that Uther. D-Shield down for 5 seconds. There's going to be the laser coming out. Gleaming gets the initial reset on the Zul kill here. Great Hari trying to walk away. There's going to be a root there. Batmari gets the body blocks. We're seeing trades out here from both sides.
This is a 2-for-1 right now, and we see Nay looking to get the trait proc and then get going. Broiled Beef has like 30 hit points in the back line, so Li Ming isn't going to make her an appearance anytime soon. But a positive trade, and the first really bright moment for Cosmos. The Moonshrine in the bottom lane has gone unclaimed, but top looks like it is the objective. Here's Stormbolt coming through from Murden. Nate, very, very low. Need to watch out, as Vala is still up and alive. Li Ming backed for health, and top shrine looks like it will be over to Cosmos momentarily, and they have closed the talent tier gap. Both teams are on their 16s. And almost done with both of their quests. But scroll up, identify at level 1, and Stormbolt nearly done. That'll be a nice boost. Oh, Nay finishes the quest there. There's a nice Stormbolt. Real Uni under a ton of pressure. We've got the Root. Trying to get some Rain of Vengeance for the comeback. Scarlet E just comes out, but it is not enough. The Dwarf tosses himself away. And another staggered death. And this game, which looked like... I don't want to say that it was over, but it certainly looked like Dread Pirates are going to choke it out. You know, and take it into game 3 is now in serious doubt. Cosmos with their first opportunity for an objective. Ooh,
Yeah,
got
and
it!
they actually did it here, just barely.
I almost flipped
Now
the
catapults
view.
are pushing the bottom lane, so I'd like seeing this rotation from them down to that bottom fort. Going to help alleviate some pressure. I kind of wish Dread Pride had just held on to that top area.
3
and let the catapults do work in the bottom.
In fact, Phoenix is going back. That's going to do a little bit of core damage. Trying to open things up in the bot lane. This is the first possible fort. Hari goes in for the swap, does not connect. Starting to get to a later game Dragon. This should be an easy fort in the bot lane. I don't think they can threaten keep without a couple of kills. But Cosmos have looked good. They were down, oh boy, I want to say 8-3 in terms of kills, and they've just picked up the subsequent 4? Something along those lines. There's another good kick.
Here, there goes the fort going down. Looking for some pick here.
Uther.
Swap pitch on the Princess again.
There's a big Purification Salvo coming through. We saw Scarlet just go through. Uther gets slept out. He uses Divine Shield to get away. That's another big cooldown. Avatar's still up and available, but Volley gets pinged. What a shot by Beef. Ooh, baby. Cosmos.
That's a big kill here.
They might be able to just muscle in for a keep here. They're a swap away from maybe ending. Urel gets kicked. Hurry!
There's a swap on the Uni again. There's the root coming up after that. The
that's doesn't make it.
The kill on the white main.
And Nay has popped on out. Murden now just trying to get the body block. Zemo might have to get traded out. Zul goes down. Phoenix flips away, and the resets are here. This is 7 straight kills for Cosmos. Nay going in, misses the Stormbolt. Remember, Princess, though, still low, trying to get away. Uther gets swapped again. Urel is the only person left. She got a long way to go. Gonna have to eat that root real soon. Now the goat gets put to pasture. And Cosmos, with a miracle comeback in game number 2. And they're gonna take this set.
Yeah, one little pick was all it took up on the top lane for them to be able to build this pressure and take this down. Slithery one doing your best here on the Vala, not going to be enough to bring the core to a safe zone. That's going to be 2-0 here from Cosmos.
I mean, you know, you talked about what they need to do. What's the recipe for them? In the first game, it was the same thing in the second game. It's just counter-engage. Waiting out, in game number 2, waiting out the Bone Prison, waiting out a number of different cooldowns, and the great Hari, with the swaps, targeting Uther over and over and over again. And, I mean, a swap for a D-Shield's a pretty nice cooldown, but they even managed to track him down a couple times, and that late-game Uther kill really looks like it spelled the end in game number 2.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the Artanis pick here was the key for them in both games. The swaps were great.
How often can you say Artanis is the key?
Yeah, it's very rare, but when your swaps are hitting, it's kind of like a Stitches hook. If you can hit those hooks, you're God. If you can't hit them, it doesn't work. Same thing with Artanis. If you can't get your swaps, then it doesn't help any. But when you can land them, you can give your team some great advantages, great potentials for kills. And obviously having the Decker there to kind of help follow up, split the team with the stay a while and listen. And also we saw some very good practice from Cosmos on the stay a while listens, not attacking any heroes that didn't need to be attacked. So we saw the 1 kill, for instance, against Azul. Yeah, if Uther was available to do anything, Zul wouldn't have died there because the team made sure not to split focus, made sure to only target 1 hero. Uther wasn't woken up from sleep. So yeah, they traded Deckard for the Zul, but that ended up getting them 1 more kill after that. And I think we have an interview with Odd Thought here from Cosmos.
It's all true.
Odd Thought, brother, congratulations on a sterling set.
That second game.
Man, we were just talking about it. There seemed to be this really nice little pattern where you guys just sort of kind of hanging out in the early game, just feeling everything out a little bit. You guys showed some great patience in both games. It looked like the counter engages were the key to this 2-0 victory.
We were very still recovering. Ooh, I'm a little recovering. Yeah, it was scary. At one point, I was just like, "Look, we're basically playing for 20. Let's just keep it together," you know, because attitude is such a huge part of this game. So as soon as you start to get negative, and that's where that kind of a situation can really just make it untenable to come back. So I'm really proud of my team in that game too, especially but in terms of how we kept it together.
Right on, brother. And
Yeah,
listen,
I'm gonna have to watch the replays to see exactly what happened on that turnaround on the top because it was
there's
crazy from my perspective.
a lot of good
So
stuff,
great
man.
shot calling out of my team too.
You've
For that.
got you got a nice little new project here. And I was remiss. Let's rewind a little bit. Tell us a little bit about Cosmos. What's going on here with you and the boys in the lounge?
Well, I have two of my longtime HOTS pals I've been playing with for a couple of years, and we weren't able to play together last season, so in NGS. So I just kind of like called those guys up, and then Hari joined us from the team I was on before. Shout out to Clouded Minds. And then we picked up Zemel on the free agency, so it just kind of came together, and
Very cool,
yeah,
man.
it seems to be working out so far.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Mega Man fan, a couple questions for yourself. Please take it away.
Yeah, I was really the one thing I was super curious about, which you may or may not know.
Mhm.
Hari ended up going with the Purifier Beam in game two over the blind. Any particular reason for that, especially considering there was a Zul and a Vala who are both very auto attack heavy on the other side?
I'll be sure to hit him with that when we watch the replays.
He's just
I
like
don't know.
it was just
That
kind
wasn't
of like we rarely. I was just gonna say we rarely get to see Artanis outside of BOE. We like even more rarely get to see Spear of Adun come out. So that was just kind of a really neat treat. And the late game swaps were fantastic by Hari. It was just like I said, a really great thing to see. We don't get to see a lot of great Artanis play.
Yeah, that was kind of his autonomous decision. It wasn't anything we called for at the time. So I don't have a great answer for that, I guess, but good question.
That's
So
all
good
right.
answer.
And one other, what was the choice game one? You guys went with the Lornado over the Stay a While, and normally we see more of a pull towards Stay a While on that map because you need that zone control so much. Any reason
Yeah,
for the Lornado over it?
that was mostly me not wanting to be self-rooted. I just didn't want to make myself an even easier target.
Hmm.
It just came down to that.
It was kind of
Um,
neat to see the two different heroics in two games from you.
Yeah, that's a really tough decision for me because I think both of them are valid in just about every game. I know that there are usage patterns and so on, but I find in my own experience that I can go either way in any given game. So I don't
Excellent.
know if I was slow to pick that in game one. Sometimes you'll notice that I won't pick my ultimate until kind of late.
Well, I mean, listen, you're an abstract thinker. I mean, it's right there in the name.
That's true. Keep you
uh,
guessing or something. I don't know.
so game number two, I had seen that draft from Dread Pirates before. They were successful with it.
Hmm.
Early game, listen, it's just oppressive and difficult to deal with. But you guys turned that around, and it took a little while to get going. Can you walk us through maybe like the post 10 period with what you guys are doing on comms? What's the feeling like on Dragonshire in game two?
It's real simple. Again, I was mostly talking about just attitude, and we're playing for 20, right? No additional deaths.
Mm-hmm.
I had the healing reduction, so that had to have figured in at some point, especially in the top lane where it kind of all turned around.
Yep.
And then beyond that, we were just getting picks. I think we caught bad rotation from white main at some point on their side of the map through a bush or something. So, and then we just stayed super aggressive after that. Like as soon as we got a kill anywhere, we're just super aggressive. Let's keep moving right to left,
Excellent, man.
just get maximum value out of the little gains that you make in this game.
Very, very cool. Well, listen,
Yeah.
you're starting the season off on fire. You guys are, I want to say, 4-1 on your maps with like 2 wins.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
And last week it was weird for us because for the first game and a half, we were down. It was looking pretty bad, like we were going to go 0-2. So again, that attitude, man.
You guys
Stay
are
positive, don't die is real.
You guys are comfy on the ropes, man. That's really cool. Usually because I think in the early season, like that's the worst spot to be. Like everybody wants to be aggressive and just kind of run it down. But you certainly look good with your back up against the wall.
Especially with a new mix of players, and I'm the captain this season, which it's not generally a role I embrace or seek. So I was a little nervous, right? A new mix of players, and you want to start off really well, otherwise it can be really tough to keep everybody motivated. So
Right on. All
and
right.
Dread Pirates, really great opponents. They were very tough.
Very, very cool comp in game number 2. I kind of saw it coming too, and it was something that, like I said, you broke the success rate. I wonder if they'll rethink that. All right,
Yeah,
brother.
we did research that, but it just didn't seem like that. You never know this early in a season. There's so little data. Was that just like a niche thing they did, or
Yeah,
so we weren't surprised when we saw it. But...
I was curious. Like, like you don't want to tease things like in the scouting, but it's like, okay, I thought maybe you just weren't straight up afraid of it. Right on. All right.
Ultimately not. We were more afraid of Cho'Gall. We said, what are we afraid of more? And that's what we did.
All right. I'm going to turn the floor over to you. Just listen, take us home on thought. Your shout out, sir. The floor is yours.
All right. I want to thank my team for hanging in there and having such awesome attitudes. I want to thank Dread Pirates. They're super good opponents. Really tough. I want to thank you two for casting. I can't wait to watch this replay.
My pleasure.
And I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep it short and sweet in that regard.
All right. Odd Thought, thank you. Good luck. For those that don't know, Odd Thought is also a caster and one fine individual. Odd Thought, hit the folks with your deets before you take off for us.
Oh, okay. I stream quite a bit at twitch.tv/oddthought, so you can find me there. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me if you want to complain or compliment me in any way.
It's a good chill time,
I'm
man.
available for both.
It's a good chill time. Good luck. We'll hope to catch you again later in the season.
Thanks you guys so much for casting.
Alrighty, that is going to do it. Some final thoughts. Mega Man fan. Hit us, baby. What'd you think about that set?
Yeah, it was a good set. As a caster, at least personally, I feel like we usually try to root for the game 3. So a little sad to see Dread Pirates not be able to bring home that game 2.
We thought we were gonna get it. Yeah,
I know we thought we were gonna get it, but a great turnaround from Cosmos. Great job pressuring it at the end there. So glad to see them take it home with the 2-0. I know that they are probably excited about that, as every team is when they squeeze out a nice 2-0 against any opponent where it's fairly evenly matched. I don't feel like either game was a snowball, and that's always a nice thing to see.
I agree. All right, that is going to do it for us. Mega Man fan, where can the folks out there catch you?
They can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/1megamanfan. Usually stream some games on Tuesdays and Thursdays. A little off this week just because of Thanksgiving. Yay for NA. But, we'll get back to normal schedule hopefully sooner rather than later. And thank you for having me tonight. I always enjoy a good cast.
Absolutely. Thank you for reaching out, man. Appreciate it. Love to do the duos. That's going to do it for myself as well. I don't know when I'm going to pick up on the cast. I dig the lounge setup. I think the coolest part of the lounge setup is like on the weekend, being able to pick up EU games in the middle of the day. That's a nice bonus. I love looking at cast usually once in the week, and then I'll try to hit one more up in the weekend. We're looking to just get settled in and comfortable here as soon as the winter months show their ugly head here in the Northeast. I'm sure I'll be snowed in and casting some more games. Cheers. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I want to thank the fam and certainly one Mega Man fan. Thank you for joining me. Much appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. I always enjoy being a co-caster, hanging out with you. It's always a good time.
Right on, baby. All right. You folks have a good night. We'll catch us next time, sooner or later here at the lecture hall.